up, core reporters? Happy Friday and welcome to my channel. I really want to talk to you guys about a video that I just saw on Catelynn Lowell's Instagram page. She and Tyler have seriously been going through it ever since going public with the news that their biological daughter, Carly's adoptive parents, Brandon and Teresa, have cut contact with them. And obviously, with the revelation of this, a lot of us have been going back in the archive and watching their 16 and Pregnant episode, in addition to the early episodes of Teen Mom, in order to try and see how the past could have, potentially influenced where they're at today, currently. So one of the running narratives that has been kind of rampant about their situation on the internet is the claim that Tyler allegedly pushed Kate to give up their daughter for adoption. A lot of people always claimed that Caitlyn gave up Carly in order to maintain her relationship with Tyler, and that Tyler, made some sort of an ultimatum. And Caitlyn has decided to go online and officially address these comments once and for all. Let me share her video of what exactly it is that she said, and then afterwards we'll get into my commentary, okay? And of course, per usual, I am looking forward to hearing what you have to say as well. So do not hesitate to leave your point of view in the comments section down below. Here we go.
Hey, good almost afternoon. I can't believe that I am having to hop on here and talk about this, but here I am. I wanted to set something straight. I'm seeing the comment a lot that people are saying that Tyler gave me an ultimatum, either my baby or him. First off, that comment is absolutely disgusting on so many levels. For one, when you say something like that, it strips me of all of the strength and sorrow that it took me as a birth mom to place my child. Secondly, if you think that I would just give my baby away for a man, that is absolutely untrue. And to think that I would still be with said man after all of these years, if he did give me an ultimatum of either my baby or him, that's absolutely disgusting. If you're not involved in adoption in any form, let alone a birth parent, for you to say something like that and not understand the strength that it took or the sorrow that I went through to place Carly, then why are you making comments like that? Not only does it strip me away from all of the power that I had to use within my being to hand my child over to somebody else, you're also taking it away from Tyler. Do you think that he did not want to keep this child? Do you think that he didn't spend many nights crying just like I did? It's just, I do not understand where people get this from. I know that there was a scene, that was filmed that Tyler said that he thought that if we would have parented Carly, that we would not be together. He's not implying that if I didn't place Carly, he would have broke up with me. What he is implying is that teen parents typically do not stay together. If you look at our show, and majority of all of the parents that decided to parent their children, 9 out of 10 of them are not together because teen parents go through stress and all of the things to raise a baby. So I agree with him. If we would have kept Carly, we probably wouldn't still be together, and we still wouldn't have had all of these other children that we have had in this life that we have had. Why? Because most of the time, teen couples do not stay together. Look at the statistics. So I'm hopping on here to let you know, as a birth mom who placed her child, he did not force me. It was my own strength, my own power, my fighting my mental demons on the daily for 9 months, and even after she was born for the 3 days that we had her. So, I guess at the end of the day, believe what you want, but just know when you think things like that, it strips me of all of my strength as a birth mom and the strength of Tyler also being a birth dad. It's disgusting that any of you guys would think like that. So, have a good day, I guess. And remember that if you're not involved in adoption at all, sit back and keep your mouth shut.
So there you have it. I have to say that I completely agree with Caitlyn. A lot of people really like to oversimplify what exactly it is that happened there, and I do believe that there are some things that are straight up untrue that are being spread. So when she talks about the claims where people are saying that Tyler pressured her and said that he wouldn't be with her and that it was her the baby, I would love for somebody to point out that scene in 16 and Pregnant, because, like Kate says, it implied that Tyler himself did not want to keep the baby, when we know that that was not true. I recently rewatched their 16 and Pregnant episode, and it was devastating. You can check out my TikTok page, Grace Report, where I share some of the scenes in it. And there is one scene, which I do have to re-upload. But in that scene, Tyler is reading a letter to his unborn daughter about how devastated he is at the decision that he has to make to give her up for adoption. Unfortunately, he was not in a place to be the father that his daughter deserved. His his living circumstances, his education wasn't there, his work, nothing was there, right? So it was a devastating decision for him. He didn't just not want to be a parent or anything like that. He was just as devastated as Kate was. We saw him cry and agonize over this decision. And in addition to that, there was no point in the episode in which Tyler said anything about Kate choosing him or the baby, choosing to give up the baby to save their relationship or anything like that. It was always about the fact that they lived with jailbird parents who were addicted to drugs. The parents had already had a recent kid. Her mom had a Nicholas, and Nicholas was only 3 years old at the time or something like that. There was just so much chaos going on in that home. There was no support. There was no money. There was violence. There was verbal abuse. There was a lot of just toxicity. And that was the main motivation behind placing Carly up for adoption. And like Kate says, when you say things like that, you act as though she too didn't see that adoption at that time with the information that they were given, and that, the place that they were in life was not the best choice. I think that the two of them, and from what the episode shows, the two of them had already come to the conclusion that they were going to give Carly up for adoption before the cameras started rolling. They already mentioned in their first scene there that was a decision that they had made. So we did not even see a negotiation between the two of them to see how they came to that decision. We only knew that they were at that decision. And I do think, again, that what Kate is saying is true, that when Tyler said that they probably wouldn't have been together if they kept Carly, it's in reference to the fact that teen parents typically do not make it when they decide to keep a child. In fact, teen couples in general typically do not make it anyway, right? So that's something that we saw in Teen Mom OG. How many of the original couples are still together? Don't worry, I'll wait. 99% of them are broken up. In fact, in Teen Mom OG, the only couple that made it, is Caitlyn and Tyler. In Teen Mom 2, did any of the couples make it? I don't think so. Teen Mom 3, no. It's the relationships that were formed after breaking up with the original significant other from the 16 parent franchise that have lasted so far, right? So anyway, guys, that was it. That was a little bit of a recap of what it is that Kate had to say in response to some of the criticisms about their adoption story. Now, while we're here, I do want to tell you guys some news, okay? First of all, I am going to be reading some of these Teen Mom Stars' memoirs, and this is something that I'm going to be doing with my channel members. So if you want to join us in that journey of memory lane, reading some of their memoirs, including Kale's memoir, Amber's memoir, Caitlyn and Tyler have their memoirs there, Macy, all of them, Janelle, make sure to hit that join button. It's going to be quite the adventure, but that is something that we're going to be doing together with my channel members. Second of all, because this really is an important topic in my opinion, I have reached out to a sociologist who covered the kind of dark underbelly of the adoption industry. and the unfortunate circumstances that lead it to become such, a premier option for people. And she's going to be coming on my channel. We're working out the date and stuff like that. And we are going to have a special guest joining us for this conversation, and you do not want to miss it. This is most likely going to take place on Monday. Stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, that you've got the bell notifications on. Make sure that you check out my community tab from time to time to not miss out on the announcement. This is going to be a major stream, right? So yesterday I published, I didn't speak to him yesterday, it was the day before, but I published an interview I did with a lawyer who has worked on adoption cases to discuss this entire situation, right? And he's very, very objective. So you can definitely go ahead and watch that interview if you haven't already. And now next week, it's looking like I'm going to have a sociologist who has dedicated her life to studying adoption from all sides. So stay tuned. This is a very, very important topic. It's not cut and dry. It's not as simple as some people want to make it out to be. And again, the ethics and the legality of having children sign these sorts of contracts, these legally binding lifelong contracts, that really has to be called into question. And that's exactly what we're going to continue to do here on this channel. Okay, that's all for now. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. Have a great weekend, you guys. Happy Friday.